What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Now, in this video, there's a ton of stuff I need to cover. And basically, it's a lot of stuff from the week I missed and a lot of new stuff. Also, I'm going to add some additional details. You may have heard it, you may have not. Actually, there's a few stuff that I haven't even talked about, and it'll be in this video. But as for some of the highlights, I have some additional release details for the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG Better With Time. We also have official photos of the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo and more release details for the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan Brand in this video, and there's a lot from Nike as well. Actually, most of this video will be Nike, but there's a strong lineup from Jordan Brand. Hopefully this video isn't too long, but with that said, let's jump into the news. A couple weeks back, we received a first look at the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro Moonwalker. Now, that first look wasn't that great. It was a single photo. It wasn't horrible, but we now have additional photos giving us a better look. And overall, these images are pretty solid. It shows off some different angles, which is a lot better than the first look. But from what I can see, these look on point to the OG, which initially released in 2014. The shoes are also known as Michael Jackson, and it's due to the fact on the outsole, which is translucent, but underneath it, we have the moon surface, so like moonwalking. Growing up, I was a huge fan of MJ. I knew how to moonwalk at one point. I tried to do it the other day, I couldn't do it, but if you're a fan of this pair, they drop on September 10th, and the retail price will be $220. In this video, we have quite a few shoes that now have release dates. Some of the shoes, the release date has been updated, but for a pair that we knew was returning, but we didn't have a specific release date for, is the Nike KD6 Peanut Butter and Jelly. Now, we do have a release date, and the shoes will drop in January. Now, for those who don't know, this pair initially dropped in 2013, and is inspired by one of KD's favorite snacks growing up as a child. As an adult, I still like PB&J sandwiches, but I remember when these initially dropped, there was a ton, I wouldn't say hype, but a lot of people liked them and they wore them. There was also a ton of cheesy photos online. On Instagram, you guys might remember those. They had like the bread 11s and they had a loaf of bread next to them. And then they had the KD 6 PB&J with some peanut butter and jelly, or they put two pieces of bread between the shoes. I did not like that era. But what is shown is the OG pair. However, the new release should look just like this. Now, the official colorway is laser orange, raspberry red, and black. And the release date will take place on January 23rd, 2026. It could change, but that's the date for now. And the retail price will be $140. Another KD6 that is returning in 2026 is the KD6 All-Star, also known as Illusion. This pair initially dropped in 2014. And when they initially dropped, they were part of Nike Basketball's NOLA Gumbo League. The collection celebrated the NBA All-Star Weekend. KD also wore them on court during his 5th All-Star appearance. The collection also released to celebrate NBA All-Star Weekend taking place in New Orleans. Now, this information about them returning has been going around for some time, but the update on this is we do have a release date, which I find the release date a bit odd. So, for now, the release date is set for February 27th. Typically, with All-Star pairs, they drop during All-Star Weekend. Now, I know this is a retro release, but even with that said, they typically take place during All-Star Weekend. So, I'm not sure why they're scheduled to drop after. This upcoming All-Star Weekend, there's a ton of releases planned. That could be why, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the release date gets moved forward. Also, the images you're looking at is the 2014 pair, and the retail price will be $140. Several months back, I talked about the Nike Kobe 8 Protro Year of the Horse returning in 2026. Now, they are returning, but we do have a release date for them. Prior to this, I didn't have the release date. All I knew was that the return would take place in spring. This is an original colorway. It celebrated the Year of the Horse, and in 2026, Nike will have several Year of the Horse releases. So this being one of them. The official colorway is light crimson, bright citron, and vivid blue, and they're currently scheduled to drop on January 31st. Again, this could change, and the retail price is said to be $180, but these could go up to $190. We have more release dates, and we're moving on to a couple Foamposites. This one being the Nike Air Foamposite 1, known as Carbon Fiber. Now, we received a first look thanks to the Sneakers Live, and there's only a couple images, but why they're known as Carbon Fiber is due to the print used across the Foamposite shell. Now, in a previous video, I mentioned I wasn't sure if there was any other Foamposites that featured carbon fiber on the upper. Off the top of my head, I just couldn't think of any, but then some people did comment the Silver Surfer pair. I totally forgot about those, so that is the other pair that featured carbon fiber. But a lot of releases are coming this holiday season, this being one of them, and the release date is October 10th. The retail price will be $240. This is a small update for the Nike Air Foamposite Pro University Blue. Now, most of us know that the shoes are returning next year. However, we have a release month. I wasn't going to share it, but a lot of people have been talking about it, so I decided why not include it in the news videos. But as most of you know, the Foamposite Pro was initially released in 1997. But this pair, the University Blue pair, first dropped in 2003. And the 2026 pair will be the first time that they ever retro. Now, this shoe I'm definitely excited for. It's one of my favorite Foamposite Pro releases. This and the Pearl, it's interchangeable. But lately I've been more of a fan of the Pearl. But this pair I definitely plan on picking up. Now, as for the release time frame, or I should say the release month, they're expected to drop in March. I wish I had more information, but for now, we can expect these to return in March. Maybe Nike is going to release them along March Madness, and the retail on these should be $240. We have another classic Nike Air Foamposite Pro returning. Now, this isn't an OG colorway, but a lot of people like the shoe, including myself. Now, they initially dropped in 2011, and the news about this pair returning has been going around for some time, but what we finally have is a release date. So the pair will return on December 19th, just before Christmas, and the retail price will be $240. Now, these should be a GR. I don't think you'll have too much problems getting a pair just because there's so much stuff dropping during December. Also, people spend money on Christmas presents for others, so a lot of people, including myself, don't pick up a lot of shoes in December. I might get one, maybe two, but a lot of my money goes to my family, so I got to make sure the presents are all secured and stuff like that. And then there's a possibility if these are still available, I'll circle back around to grab them. So December 19th is the current release date, and the retail price will be $240. In the past, Patta has collaborated with Nike on several Air Max releases. Now, back in 2021, they released the Air Max 1 Waves collection. And this year, we saw the Air Max 90 Waves collection debut. Also, we have multiple colorways of the Air Max D and 8 dropping, but in 2026, Patta will drop another Nike Air Max 1, this one being the Air Max 187. Now, a lot of people have been doing mock-ups and speculating that it'll be part of the Waves collection, a new edition. I haven't heard about it being part of the Waves collection, but I did receive the colorway, which will be white, hyper crimson, and pure platinum. And currently, I don't have a retail price. Now, the image used is just a mock-up. It's just a white out version or kind of a white and gray version of the Air Max 1. And as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but summer 2026 is when this pair is expected to drop. So that means this pair will release between April and June. We have a couple preview photos of the Cactus Plant Flea Market Nike Dunk Low Swamp Sponge collection. It's also known as the Swamp Sponge Dunk Low collection, and there's going to be 3 colorways releasing. Now, about a week ago, Travis Scott was spotted wearing a pair, but it appears that that's an unreleased sample and won't be released to the public. But one colorway comes dressed in Sequoia, Sequoia, Sequoia. The other comes dressed in Photo Blue, Digital Pink, and Sequoia. And then the third is dressed in Psychic Purple, Photo Blue, and Gold Suede. Now, the overall look resembles that of Cactus Plant Flea Market's 2019 Sponge by You Blazer collaboration. We have a lot of exposed foam, furry detailing around the toe. They also feature a mismatch theme. Overall, they're pretty colorful. Am I a huge fan of them? No, but I think they're decent. And it seems that some people like them. It seems that some people don't. So it's kind of like a mixed opinion. Of course, it's just preview photos. We don't have like the greatest look. So everything could change once more photos come out. But as for a release date, they're expected to drop fall 2025. So that means a release could pretty much take place any time now up into the end of September, and the retail price will be $155 each. Once again, the Nike Air Griffey Max 1 Freshwater will return, but this time in summer 2026. Now, I might sound a little bit disappointed that they're returning, and it's not that they're not a dope shoe, because they definitely are, and I'm a big fan of them. However, I just feel that we're seeing retro colorways of the Griffey Max 1 when Nike and everybody knows that Ken Griffey Jr. had more than one signature shoe. They could definitely show some love to the Griffey Max 2. That's a shoe that I really like, that we haven't seen in a while. Yes, I believe it was last year a cleated version released, but in my opinion, that doesn't count. Now, on the flip side of things, I kind of get why these are returning, because in 2026, this model celebrates its 30th anniversary. So it definitely makes sense that the Freshwater pair will return in that situation, but they could also celebrate the 30th anniversary of this model by just bringing back the Griffey Max 2. Sure, still bring these back, but show some love to other models. That's just my opinion, of course. Now, the style code on these is the same as the last release, which took place in 2021. So you can expect the same look, the same color blocking, and so forth. If you own the 2021 pair, there's no reason to pick these up, in my opinion. Also, the images used is the 2021, not the 2026, but they're going to look like this. Now, the official colorway is white, black, freshwater, and varsity red. They're going to drop summer 2026, which means a release will take place between April and June. The retail price will be $170. In 2026, we have more colorways of the Air Max Uptempo 95 dropping, and one of those returning is the Derek Fisher PE. Now, this pair was originally released in 2003 and worn by Derek Fisher during the LA Lakers three-peat run in the early 2000s. We also saw another retro take place in 2016, and the 2026 pair is expected to look like this. Maybe the shape will be updated a bit, but overall the color placement will be like this. Now, the colorway is white, court purple, white, and university gold. The pair features white leather up top. We have purple nubuck, which wraps the entire shoes. Purple also fills in the swoosh and covers most of the outsole. And then we have university gold on the pull loops. It outlines the swoosh on the panels, fills in the Air Uptempo branding on the heels, and then placed within the Air Max unit. This is a dope pair. I like them. I'll probably pick them up. Seeing how things are going, these could potentially wind up on sale, and if they do, that's definitely when the best time to purchase, obviously. But summer 2026 is when this pair is expected to drop, and the retail price will be $170. In 2026, we have multiple colorways of the Nike KD6 returning, and just announced last week, we have the Night Vision pair returning. So this is new information, and this is also an OG colorway which initially dropped in 2014. Now the pair will feature a black, multicolor, and light lucid green colorway. The overall color blocking on this pair is inspired by night vision goggles. So the pair features mostly black. We also have green accents throughout. That shade of green I really like. And then on the KD logo and swoosh branding within it, there's a bunch of pixels. Now, they're currently scheduled to release on June 4th, 2026, and the retail price will be $140. In 2026, we also have multiple colorways of the Air Max 95 dropping, and a couple of those will be OG colorways. And I recently learned that the Air Max 95 OG Comet Red will return in 2026. Now, what I was told is they will feature the big bubble. However, I don't know if the pair will feature PSI branding on the Air Max unit. As you can see in this image, this is the OG pair. You can kind of see the PSI. It's kind of faded though on the lateral air unit by the heel. Now, aside from originally releasing in 1995, they also dropped in 2003 and in 2010. So the last time we saw the pair, it wasn't one of one to the OG, but it was in 2021. It was released overseas, and it was a nod to Japan. Some of the detailing on the panels was slightly different than the OG. So technically, it's been 16 years since we saw this pair return. The colorway on these will be white, comet red, neutral gray, medium gray, and black. And another pair expected to drop summer 2026. So that means the release will take place between April and June. The retail price on these will be $200. So it looks like the Air Max 95 is going up once again. Okay, so these aren't the best photos, but they are new photos of the Nike Kobe 6 Protro Statue of Liberty, which is a collaboration with Jalen Brunson, well, more so his PE. As most of you know, Brunson has worn various Kobe PEs, and one of the PEs that he wore was this Statue of Liberty pair. Now, from the looks of it, with these images, there won't be any branding connected to Brunson. However, just like Caitlin Clark's PE, I'm sure Nike will officially call them Jalen Brunson's shoe. And as for the colorway, it features hyper turquoise and metallic copper. Essentially, the colorway is a nod to the Statue of Liberty in New York. This pair I really like. I like the hyper turquoise that runs throughout. We also have metallic copper accents, which hits the swoosh and the heel counter. That also will also have a marbleized finish. And from the looks of these images, they do look on point to the PE. It doesn't look like there's any differences. Now, as for a specific release date, unfortunately that isn't available, but this pair is expected to drop holiday 2025. So expect a release to take place between October and December, and the retail price will be $190. These images actually leaked maybe 2 weeks ago. Now, as some of you know, I took a week off. So as for them being featured on the channel, it's a little bit late, and I apologize for that. But we did receive a first look at the Dashawn Jordan Nike SB Dunk Low. Now, some of you might remember maybe a month and a half ago, I put out a mock-up showing how these shoes would look. And as you can see, it's on point. I was lucky enough to see a sample pair of the shoes, so I rushed to get a mock-up out. But it's always nice to get actual photos of the shoes, though. Now, Dashawn Jordan is from Arizona, and it appears that this pair is inspired by Arizona as well as the Diamondbacks. As you can see, we have rattlesnake print on the overlays. That could be a tribute to the baseball team, as well as just Arizona having a bunch of Diamondback rattlesnakes and just rattlesnakes in general. The purple and teal accents are also a nod to the baseball team. Now, some of you might remember I talked about there being some sort of gold lace dubre on the shoe. I couldn't make out what it was, but as you could see in these photos, it's a diamond and it has a snake within it, well, some fangs. It's kind of close to the Diamondbacks logo, but it's different at the same time. That same diamond also lands on the inside of the tongues, and the shoes feature black suede throughout. The swoosh is also outlined with a little bit of purple. They also come with black and purple laces. And then the pair comes with a black rubber sole. I'm a big fan of these. I 100% plan on picking these up. Now, as for a release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but they are expected to release spring 2026. So that means the release will take place between January and March. Also, the retail price will be $135. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and I didn't plan on featuring this shoe in the video, even with official photos, but there was something that caught my eye. Well, there's two things that made me want to talk about it in the video. One, the retail price going up, and two, the packaging. So I did talk about the retail price in the August 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video. So instead of it being $215, they're going to cost $220. This is also a women's exclusive release. So over the past several months, there's been multiple photos that have gone around. I'll skip how they look and so forth. But the one thing I did want to talk about briefly is the packaging. So it is unique, and basically the packaging is made to resemble it being covered in denim. It's not actual denim. The style is like the OG Air Jordan 4 box, but on the lid and the box itself, it'll feature shades of denim. So it's definitely an interesting look. I know some people did like these when they initially leaked. They were upset that it was a women's exclusive release. But if you do plan on picking them up, just as a reminder, they drop on August 9th. The retail price will be $220. A couple days ago, official images popped up of the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. It seems that some people are excited. Well, a good amount of people are actually excited about the return. And in my opinion, I don't think these are going to go on sale. And the reason why I say that is just outside of people who collect sneakers and are into sneakers, a lot of non-sneakerheads buy the Air Jordan 12. Those individuals, they like a fresh pair. And it seems that the Jordan 12, it does move. It just might take a little bit of time. So I don't think these are going to sell out right away by any means, but over time, you're going to start seeing them disappear. Maybe some of the random sizes could go on sale because this is expected to be a big GR. They'll be available in full family sizing. so adults all the way down to toddler sizes. They'll also be available at pretty much every Jordan brand retailer. This will include the Sneakers app, Foot Sites, and boutiques. So they're scheduled to be released on August 16th. The retail price will be $205. As most of you know, Chase B will collaborate with Jordan Brand and Travis Scott on the Jordan Jumpman Jack TR. Images leaked not too long ago, but some additional photos did pop up, giving us a closer look. These are starting to grow on me. When I first saw them, I thought they were okay. I thought they could have been better, but slowly with time, I'm starting to like them a bit more. I kind of wish there was a little more pink on them. I think it would have made these look a lot better. And like most Travis Scott releases, these will be on the limited side. Of course, it's a collab with Chase B. This will be the first collab on Travis Scott's signature model. The official colorway is black, night silver, anthracite, illusion green, and coral chalk. As of now, they're scheduled to drop on October 8th. The retail price will be $205. Some additional photos popped up of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Baroque Brown. Now, these are those same stock images from Nike server. The intention isn't really to show the shoes off, more so to show off the apparel. But as most things do, images eventually leak. And this is a way better look than we saw previously. Now, the previous photos, the shade of brown used almost looks different. Of course, that could be due to the lighting as well. We have a clear shot of the toe, so the label on it almost looks like it has a pink hue. The actual shade will be light madder root, but other than that, the whole blocking is pretty simple. It features cell across the base. It also covers the laces, most of the tongue, ankle, wings logo in the midsole. Overall, it kind of gives it an aged look. And then the overlays is covered in brown. The same color will run across the outsole as well. I'm sure there will be some people who like these. For me, it's a definite pass. This is also going to be a women's exclusive release. I haven't heard anything if they're going to be available in extended women's sizing or not. But for now, they're scheduled to drop on September 9th. The retail price will be $185. I was starting to think that this pair could be scrapped because they were supposed to drop, I believe, in July, and then it was delayed until August, and we haven't received a first look yet, but that has changed. And this is the Air Jordan 5 Luminous Green. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, and the official colorway is Cell, Luminous Green, and Anthracite. So, we only have a couple photos, but it looks like the entire upper is constructed with leather, and instead of mesh on the panels and the tongue, that'll also be leather with perforations. So that's a new look. Now, it will have the 23 by the heel. From these images, I can't tell if it's the OG font. But then we have Luminous Green, which covers the laces, lands on the inside of the tongue, the Jumpman, and the flames on the midsole. Now, most of the midsole, actually the entire midsole aside from the flames and the little triangle on the medial side, is done in anthracite. It's not a horrible colorway in my opinion. It's decent. And as for a release date, this pair is scheduled to drop on August 30th. The retail price will be $205. Official images popped up of Zion Williamson's Air Jordan 1 Low OG Voodoo alternate, and I was really surprised to see these official photos pop up because these aren't supposed to drop until October, late October at that. So traditionally, we probably wouldn't see official photos until like the beginning of October, maybe late September. So this could mean one of two things. One, or actually let's say three things. One, the release date has changed and they're going to release sooner than October. That isn't confirmed, of course. Two, Nike messed up by uploading them to the server so early because Nike knows that people have access to this stuff and can find it. So traditionally they like to keep it off until like a certain time. Or three, there could be a shock drop. Now, none of this is confirmed. We do have the potential release date, which is October 29th, so just before Halloween. But what this does is it gives us a detailed look, and these are on point to his PE pair that were made exclusively for him. It was a follow-up to the Voodoo Air Jordan 1 Low OG, which dropped back in 2022. I like this pair more than the original, and as far as availability goes, I haven't heard much. I don't think there'll be a GR, but I don't think they're going to be super limited as well. More than likely, these are going to be available on the Sneakers app as well as boutiques. The official colorway is Regency Purple, Vapor Green, Black, Dark Raisin, Daybreak, and Light Silver. Again, these are going to drop on October 29th for $165. Retailer photos of the Air Jordan 5 35th anniversary, also known as medium soft pink, have popped up. So I wanted to showcase that with you guys. Now, with these retailer photos, they didn't show how the 3M upper looks, but we have seen that in previous images. The overall color blocking is like a mixture between the fire red with the black tongue and the silver tongue. What I like about them is that they feature the number 23, the OG font, on the lateral side. We also have Nike Air branding on the heels. And overall, I do like the pink detailing. Now, one thing, I mentioned this before, I still don't know why these are called 35th anniversary over other colorways. I'm not sure where the pink comes into play. Now, with the release date in October, it does make sense that these could be like a nod to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But again, that isn't confirmed. So I did some Googling, and Breast Cancer Awareness Month officially started in 1985. So this would be the 40th anniversary. So there's no connection there other than they're being pink and they're dropping in October. But it has yet to be officially announced from the brand. What I saw is that they were being called 35th anniversary. But it's a nice shoe, and they're scheduled to be released on October 11th. The retail price will more than likely be $215. Well, this is some unfortunate news that I do need to talk about. The Air Jordan 13 He Got Game will not release like the OG. It will come in low top form. So let me talk about the information and everything that happened. These were supposed to release in mid/high. I don't care what anybody says on Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere else. This was supposed to be a mid-top release. I waited to talk about it, and then I officially did. I leaked it, and that took place maybe 3 weeks ago. 3 days after I leaked it, there was an update on the system side that said that these would be a low. Now, from my source, I was told not to talk about it. Wait, because the colorway could change. And I'm going to tell you the colorway that potentially could still be. Yes, it could still change, but for now, it is going to be the Air Jordan 13 Low He Got Game. Now, one thing I can't confirm about this shoe is if the Jumpman will be silver or red. I think it looks better as silver, but since it's a low, it won't have a hologram. Now, as for the other colorway, and I'm not going to say this anywhere else, only on this video, I'm not going to say it on Twitter, on the website, nowhere else, but the other colorway that these could change to is the Flint 13s. That has been showing up a lot, and there's still a chance that these could change again. Now, as for a release date, unfortunately, I don't have one, but these are expected to drop summer 2026, and no retail price as of yet. All right, so the weekend is over. It's officially Monday. We had 2 drops, well, not including local pickups for the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. Now, in my August 2025 Air Jordan and Nike release dates video, I did go over some of this information, but I'm going to go over it again in this video. As well, I want to clarify a few things. Now, we saw the in-store release at Undefeated take place, as well as the online raffle, and then they did a first come, first serve on the website on Saturday. Now, the rumor is that there's over 100,000 pairs made. I did not start that rumor, nor can I confirm that rumor. I mentioned that in the release dates video as well. But somebody recently commented and said there was only 3,800 pairs released via EQL. So there's no way these were available to multiple people. Now, there was way more than 3,800 pairs. The 3,800 pairs was for people who have an EQL account and connected it to Discord. Do you know how many people haven't done that? I was fortunate enough to land a pair. I landed it through EQL, and this was my first win from them. Now, my account is not connected to their Discord, and I know a handful of other people who did win as well. Their accounts are not connected, so a lot more people did win than 3,800. Now, as far as the release that took place on Saturday, the first come, first serve, you had to wait in line. I don't know how many pairs released then, but it looks like not a lot of people hit on Saturday. Also, there will be a sneakers launch. I talked about this in the previous video as well. I saw an internal email from Nike saying that the shoes would drop on the sneakers app. I assume that it's going to take place on August 28th. That was the initial release date that we had for the shoes. Also in that email, they said select boutiques will have them, and they were handpicked by Undefeated. So not every boutique will have them. one of my spots who I frequent typically gets rare releases. They're not going to get them though. These are also going to be released overseas on the Sneakers app. I have seen behind the scenes the product pages for them. But if you did watch my release dates video, you also heard me talk about the Friends and Family pair. Those won't be released to the public, but I told you guys that it would feature ballistic nylon and it would have the Jumpman on the heel. So images did leak of that. I knew it would happen. I didn't think it would happen right after my video though. I thought it might be another couple weeks. I'm also going to feature those images, and as you can see, the upper is ballistic nylon. It's a darker shade of green. This pair reflects the OG sample from 2005. And they're nice. I do like them, but overall, I'm a lot happier with the retail pair. Now, as for the next release, expect this pair to drop on August 28th. Again, not 100% confirmed yet, but there will be another release. And once I have confirmation, I'll update you guys. Also, the retail price will be $230. New photos of the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG Better With Time popped up, and I wanted to showcase those, but more importantly, I wanted to talk about the new release date. So you guys might have heard it already. I did talk about it in the release dates video, but this is a shoe that I feel needs to be also included in the news video. So initially they were supposed to drop on August 2nd, which would have been a very busy day. We had the undefeated Air Jordan 4 and the Air Jordan 10 still drop. A day before that, the Nike SB Air Max 95 Cactus Flower released. So just that time frame would have been really hectic, but these have been delayed until August 16th. Now, I did want to add in a little additional information. So I did talk with a few boutiques, and they did confirm to me that they'll be getting the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So I wish I could say the boutiques, but they told me not to. But I will be putting a list together as we get closer to the release date. So those boutiques will eventually be on there, but I didn't want to say their name just yet because they asked me not to. So other than boutiques, these will be available on the Sneakers app. I'm not sure if Nigel's website will have them as well. I don't know numbers just yet, nor do I know if I'll actually know those. Maybe for the Sneakers app, I'll figure out the numbers, but other than that, I don't think I'll have the exact amount of numbers. Nobody really knows. You know, with the Sneakers app, you can tell because there's ways to scan their server and to see how many pairs are being listed. But as far as all retailers, which a lot of YouTubers and a lot of IG pages claim they know, is not true at all. But anyways, I will say they are expected to be on the limited side, but traditionally that's how collaborations are. Also, the retail price will be $165. We got some retailer photos of the upcoming Air Jordan 4 Black Cat, and a lot of people are excited about this release. Now, one thing I will note, the retail price is expected to be $225, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually $230. Also, I did want to showcase a few additional photos from another source which shows the packaging. Now, the packaging will feature cement print across the lid. It's done in all black. It's pretty nice. Now, the Black Cat Air Jordan 4 doesn't have cement print on it, but the Jordan 4 is known for cement print. Other than that, as most of you know, they will feature Nike Air branding. This will be the first time that this colorway features Nike Air. They dropped in 2006. That pair featured the Jumpman. They also released in 2020. That pair also had the Jumpman. So a lot of new colorways or older retros, they're bringing them back, but instead of the Jumpman, we're going to see Nike Air. It seems that some people are upset about it. I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. But let me know your thoughts down below. Now, this pair is expected to be a GR. A ton of pairs available, also dropping in full family sizing. And as for the release date, this pair will drop on November 28th. The retail price is said to be $225, but I think these will go to $230. And let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Do you plan on picking a pair up or passing? Official images popped up of the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo. It seems that a lot of people are excited about this release. To many people, it's considered a grail. A lot of people are already targeting and anticipating this release after the Undefeated 4. In my opinion, I like the Undefeated 4 way more than the Tokyo 5. I won't even be going after these. It's a dope shoe, but it's not a pair that I need. Now, I understand the grail status to a lot of people, and it's cool. It's just not something I totally love or anything like that. And I'm trying to be more selective on my sneaker purchases. I've been buying way too many shoes. Now, the official photos did pop up. which gives us our best look yet. Now, as many of you know, the 2025 version will be different compared to the 2011. Now, the difference is the bit of yellow that's on the toe cap, and that is to reflect the 2011 sample. I think it's cool that they did a minor change. So for people who own the OG, I don't own the OG, so it doesn't really bother me one way or another, but I can appreciate Jordan Brand doing these small changes. Now, there's another rumor going around that there's only 20,000 pairs that will be released. I'm not sure if that is true or not. I'll be 100% honest. I haven't heard it from my sources. I know Complex put it out, but I'm pretty sure I know the individual who they got the information from. And if it is that individual, I don't really trust his word. I'll be 100% honest. But if it is 20,000 pairs, it's definitely going to be limited. Since we have the official images, more than likely these will drop on the Sneakers app, although that's not 100% confirmed. In the past, we have received official photos, but a release didn't take place on the Sneakers app. Now, there seems to be two different release dates going around. One for September 27th and one for September 30th. Last I heard, it was September 30th. Initially, it was supposed to be the 27th, but it was delayed until the 30th. So that's the release date I'm going with for now. And the retail price is $215. So my question for you guys is, which pair do you like more? The Undefeated Air Jordan 4 or the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo? Both of those shoes were once considered a grail, still considered a grail. One has re-released. This one will be released again with some changes. So I just wanted to get your guys' opinion down below. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Speaking of new videos, I do plan on dropping another news video later this week. There's some stuff I've been holding back a little bit, and some of that stuff I really do need to get out. Nothing super major. Well, one thing regarding a Kobe 11, but some people may be mad about that. Some people may be happy, but I will say for those who are listening, it won't be the fade to black pair that has been going around. I was supposed to drop that information in this video, but unfortunately it's a collab post and I haven't heard back from the individual just yet. So I'm shooting for the next video to have that in. So be on the lookout for that. Now for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. Also, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.